Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, your basement. The first thing I wanted to do is just give you a sort of a spatial relationship between the overhang on the other side of the door and the foundation wall. And when I climb up there and poke around at the insulation, I want you to notice a couple of things. One, the overhang creates sort of a cavity or a bay. And the second thing is that the insulation is discolored in several areas. And the thing to keep in mind throughout this presentation is that discolored insulation, dark spots, is a telltale sign that air is moving right through the insulation. On the other side here, you can see as when I pick this one piece of insulation up, how really dark and discolored it is, just indicating that that particular area is particularly leaky. And one thing I also wanted to make sure that I do is just give you another relationship between the overhang and then the normal part of the foundation wall that is more flush and near the edge of the wall. And you can see there, again, telltale signs that air is flowing through. Now, I want to show you the reason why this happens. I took it upon myself several weeks ago to walk through a house that was being built. And you can really see that during the process of housing, when everything is stripped away, how many gaps and cracks and crevices there are that lead to the outside. And you can see this basement, although it's a newer home, is very similar to the way that yours was put together. And you see that area up top there with daylight just shining through. So to give you a little more perspective, this is called the band joist, and that's the outer rim of that portion of interstitial space between the basement and the first floor. And that arrow there is pointing to an imperfection when the house is being built that you can see is very leaky. Now, what does that mean for you? It just means that these types of things are happening when homes are being built all throughout the country. So it's not unique to you or to this house. It's a common cause of drafts and inefficiency. So the question is, and you can see again, just all along that area, what do we do to treat it? Well, this is one of the guys in an older home. One of my guys is sealing up the rim joist, and you can see we use a spray foam and we seal all of the cracks and crevices that we can reach. And then penetrations through the years, things that are going through that particular portion of that wall to get to the outside, hose, pipes, maybe you have a gas line, anything that goes to the outside. And then after we seal it, we insulate it. So let's get to the attic is evenly insulated. It's just under insulated. So there's roughly 6 inches of loose fill fiberglass, which equates to an R value of about 16. And in our region of Maryland, we want to be R49. So I want you to take note of those two triangular insulated areas back there, the ones with the yellow insulation, and those are your skylights. So just taking a look from down low, obviously the pathway for the up to the roof is a drywall pathway, which creates a wall inside the attic, and it's problematic in a lot of houses and for various reasons. But in your case, as a closer inspection reveals, that the insulation is not in good contact with the drywall. And that's another important thing when dealing with insulation. You need the insulation to be in contact with the surface in which it is insulating. And then another telltale sign that there are issues with the way that the skylight is insulated is the discoloration theme again. You can see where air is flowing through, and that's just showing air connecting inside to the outside, your attic. So how do we deal with these types of things? Well, first, we seal up all the cracks and crevices. And then the guys, once everything is sealed, they cut the insulation to the right size and they put it into the bays or those cavities. And the final step is we put a jacket on. We put the sheathing on and wrap everything tight and seal it all up. The next thing I wanted to take notice of is the hatch and how we treat that. And there's a little piece here that I've used over and over, and it just shows my guy putting the insulation together and then putting the existing hatch that you have, affixing it to the insulation, applying the weather stripping. So that way when it sits in the area there, the hole, it is snug, it's tight, it's insulated, and it seals. So back to your attic, I wanted to show you a couple of other ways in which air is communicating between the house and the attic. And this here is one of your plumbing vents. And they run these plumbing vents in all homes through the walls. And you can see, again, discolored insulation right around that area that is cut for that plumbing pipe, just showing that air from the inside and the attic is flowing through, creating those dirty spots and causing drafts and energy efficiency problems inside your home. And here's another example, not really in any particular penetration point, but more so at the top of a wall, which is called a top plate, and that is also a place that would want to be sealed, you want to have sealed up so that air again is not communicating through. And this is a quick look at your bathroom fan, and you see how it is venting out to the edge, to the soffit there, and not all the way out. And that's another penetration through the ceiling that we want to seal up. So this is just a look at a well-insulated attic that has a wall similar to your skylights. There are baffles placed at the eaves for ventilation, and you can see that you can't really see any of the rafters and things like that. So thanks for watching.